Hi, everyone. Our presentation today revolves around autonomous cars. The idea that vehicles may drive themselves seemed like something out of science fiction not too long ago. However, it's becoming a reality very quickly, changing how we think about transportation. Not only are autonomous vehicles fascinating pieces of technology, but they also foreshadow a revolution in transportation. So, what exactly are autonomous cars? Autonomous cars, often referred to as self driving cars or driverless cars, are vehicles at the forefront of technological innovation in the automotive industry. They represent a significant departure from traditional vehicles in that they can operate and navigate without direct human intervention. So, what are some of the benefits? Autonomous cars have the potential to significantly improve transportation in several ways. Firstly, by removing the element of human error, autonomous cars can greatly reduce the number of accidents on the road, on the road.
Autonomous cars are divided into six levels, 0 through 5. At level 0, vehicles equipped with no automated features requiring the driver to be in complete control of the vehicle. Level 1, vehicles equipped with one or more primary automated features, such as cruise control, but requires the driver to perform all other tasks. Level 2, vehicles equipped with two or more primary features, such as adaptive cruise control and lane keeping, that work together to relieve the driver from controlling those functions. Level 3, vehicles equipped with features that allow the driver to relinquish control of the vehicle's safety critical functions, depending on traffic and environmental conditions. The driver is expected to take over control of the vehicle given the constraints of the automated features after an appropriately timed transition period. And level 3 and onward is when you get more into the AI cars like Tesla and stuff. Level 4, vehicles equipped with features that allow the driver to relinquish control of the vehicle's safety critical functions. The vehicle can perform all aspects of driving, even if the driver does not respond to a request to intervene. Finally, level 5, fully autonomous vehicles that monitor roadway conditions and perform safety critical tasks throughout the duration of the trip with or without a driver present. And this level of automation is appropriate for occupied and unoccupied trips. And there's currently no marketable level 5 that's viable. Everything that is level 5 is still being tested, and you cannot buy it yet. But most autonomous vehicles use an architecture called the Four Pillars architecture, or a variation similar to the Four Pillars architecture. And the Four Pillars architecture is when the output of one pillar becomes the input for the next pillar. And the pillars in order are called the sensing pillar, the perception pillar, the control pillar, and the planning pillar. The first pillar, sensing, relies on a variety of sensors to perceive the surroundings. The sensors include radars, ultrasonic sensors, cameras, and a sensor called LiDAR, which means light detection and ranging. Is a sensing technology that uses light in the form of a pulsed laser to measure ranges. And these sensors gather the necessary data about the vehicle's surroundings. And after the sensors collect the data, the perception pillar processes and interprets the data to create an understanding of the surroundings. It will identify and track objects, markings, road lanes, and other important information. The control lane takes the information received from the perception pillar and uses it to safely navigate through the vehicle's surroundings. The task in this pillar would include acceleration, braking, steering, deceleration, lane switching, merging, and other complex driving decisions. And lastly, the planning pillar. The planning pillar uses all the information so far to make high-level complex decisions. This would include choosing a speed, obeying traffic laws, safety constraints, and making decisions based on real-time traffic. And granted, not every autonomous vehicle uses this exact architecture. Some companies further divide the pillars into subdivisions, or combined categories. And depending on the level of the autonomy, some pillars will be excluded. Like only really level 3 and up will have all four pillars, while a level 2 and 1 probably will just have the first and second pillar. But that is how autonomous vehicles work.
Safety, autonomous versus human-driven cars. There's a very good argument being made here, and both sides of the spectrum have really good points. Autonomous vehicles has multiple points on many reasons why everyone should, switch over to an autonomous car. But also on the human-driven side of points, there's a lot of features that maybe will make some people want to stay with just regular old-fashioned cars. But today I like to go over these points, especially the most important ones from each side, and maybe that'll change your perspective on things. On the autonomous side, we'll see that there's going to be an overall reduction in accidents. While this may not seem something that can be a real reality here, it really could be because autonomous cars are programmed and they're made to follow traffic laws. So if they are following traffic laws perfectly, then there really shouldn't be much of any accidents. Unless, of course, there's a flaw somewhere in the traffic laws, then that's a whole nother type of debate there. But in general, if a car is just driving regularly, following the speed limit, staying in the lanes, and stopping at stop signs, there should not be much of an accident going on there. Another point from the autonomous side is there could be an improved flow of traffic. And while that may not make sense to some people, as in there's always going to be a whole bunch of people during like traffic time and stuff like that, being that the cars are following the laws, that means that everything is just maximized for efficiency. A car, once the light turns green, a set amount of cars will go, and then the next cars will stop, and it'll just keep going until no one is driving there. And I guess that the same way can be mentioned for if you're just regularly driving in like a neighborhood or something. It'll be the same exact flow like how you would normally get to your house. It would just, drive into the neighborhood, it'll stop at the stop sign and continue to go. So the 2 points in overall reduction in accidents and improved flow of traffic, they kind of go hand in hand, since if traffic laws are obeyed, then there'll be a way more smoother flow in traffic. And as we know, the traffic here in Charlotte gets pretty bad. So I wouldn't be opposed for everyone to get an autonomous car here. And a really good final point here from the autonomous side is the overall low emissions. These things, these cars that we have now, they put out some really bad emissions and they can really harm the environment. From the human driven side, there are a few key points here that maybe not everyone can agree with, but one of the really important ones is the adaptability to certain situations. It's not always you see, a car just flip over and hit you right there, but you never know. I mean, that situation might be something that only you with your eyes can be able to detect when compared to an autonomous car. The car can only sense or see with its sensors what's going on at that moment. It can only look so far. So that's probably one of the biggest arguments here on the human driven side, is that there won't be much of a replacement for human intuition in certain things, but it could make life a little easier if you did have an autonomous car to a degree. Two more points about the human driven side is that you have more control of the vehicle, and most likely the vehicle will be more affordable, as autonomous or electric cars or even hybrid cars can get pretty pricey of up to $40,000. Both of the points here, or both sides of the spectrum here, are very important arguments, as these points pretty much shape how our future is going to be. But all in all, I'd say as long as technology keeps evolving, so will autonomous vehicles, and eventually regular cars just will be something of the past.
Hey there guys, my name's Jenna, and today I'll be shedding light on the current state of autonomous cars and where we can expect them to be in the future. In recent years, autonomous vehicles have made significant strides in their development and use. Automakers and tech companies have been working hard to improve this technology, and there have been several noteworthy advancements within the recent years. An example of these improvements is the increased reliability of an autonomous system, making them safer and more trustworthy. Take Tesla's full self-driving feature, for example. It's in an advanced beta stage and is expanding to more users. Though it's not fully autonomous yet, it demonstrates how close we are to achieving self-driving capabilities in the near future. Companies like Waymo are already running autonomous taxi services in different areas, and their technology is only getting better. Technologies at Tesla have been pushing the boundaries, introducing advanced driver assistant features that edge us closer to full autonomy. We're talking about features like Navigate on Autopilot, which not only assists with lane keeping, but also manages highway and interchange and exits. The journey of autonomous cars is far from over. We're on the cusp of a transportation revolution, and these innovations will transform how we move and live.